Good afternoon, students. Welcome to your live English class of today. I hope more students will join fast. Okay, today we are going to revise lesson number 2 and the poem He Leaves the Nest. And in the first class, in revision 1, we have revised the first and second lessons. The first lesson was above or below. The second lesson was the past lesson, right? So now we are going to revise lesson number 3, Amina and the X, and the poem He Leaves the Nest. Okay, so here we go. In lesson number 3, the central character is a trader called Amin. So the central character of lesson 3 is Amin. And Amin was a very poor man who was doing the work in the field, means he was working for others or in his own field itself, and he was looking after his family. And all of a sudden, in a particular year, there were no rain at all in his village. No rain fell in his village. So there is severe shortage of water, and people couldn't do farming. The fields became dry, and the people need to go kilometers to fetch water for their daily needs. Slowly by slowly, the people became poor, and the green color everywhere, the green color dried up, means the trees and plants dried up, and many people who were finding livelihood from their crops or working in the fields became jobless. Their family had suffered a lot of financial problems. Saying that Amin, who was working in the farm and who was basically a farmer, also suffered financial loss. He has to look after his family. There is no other way. He is the only earner, only person on whom the family depends. So now it's high time for Amin to search another job. He has to leave the village and he should go to some other village or to the city or town in search of a job. So what Amin did is he started his journey to another village in search of a new job. So what Amin did before going to the village was he bought some hard-boiled eggs. Why he bought the hard-boiled eggs? He bought the hard-boiled eggs to eat it on the way to the other village. In olden days, you know that people used to walk or they used to travel on the back of a donkey or something of that sort. It takes many days for them to reach the destination. It takes many days for them to reach the place where they should reach. So on the way, they should have food. So what Amin did is he went to a merchant and asked him to give him a dozen. A dozen means 12, you know that. A dozen of hard-boiled eggs. And Amin had no money, so he told the merchant that he would pay the money later. The merchant gave him a dozen of hard-boiled eggs, and maybe Amin gave half dozen to his family or 9 to his family, and he took some of the hard-boiled eggs along with him with other food and water, and he went to other village in search of a job. And he didn't come back soon. He came back after many years. He worked in another village and he kept on sending money to his family, and he came back after many years. When he came back, people couldn't recognize him because The Amin who left the village was a poor man, but the Amin who came after 7 years was a very rich man. He came on the back of a shiny black horse, and there were two camels carrying lots of things at the back of him. And Amin's dress, get up, everything changed. He was wearing silk cloths, so costly dress, and his sandals, everything showed the difference of money. And two camels were carrying gold coins and silver coins and other luxury goods, very rich things at the back of him. So the people looked at him. They couldn't believe the change and they asked each other, is it not Amin? To ensure that it is Amin. So the news of Amin's richness soon reached the ear of this particular merchant also. And the merchant was a greedy man. He thought, oh, Amin became very rich, so he should give me something. He should give something to the merchant. So the merchant went to Amin and asked him to pay him 500 silver coins. You see, in your lesson, page number 29 has the same thing, 500 silver coins. I told you to read the textbook and the lesson, those who read knows it. The merchant asked for 500 silver coins from Amin and Amin was very upset. He asked for the explanation. So the merchant says, Amin took 12 hard-boiled eggs from him 7 years back. And the merchant says, if he had the 12 hard-boiled eggs, then he would keep it for hatching and the chicken would have come out of it, chicks would have come out of it and the chicks would have grown into hens or cocks. Again he would have got more eggs from them and again chicks would have hatched from that, so that within 7 years he would have a brood of chickens, chicks or hens. So he says he lost a huge amount in business because Amin had taken 12 hard-boiled eggs from him and didn't repay it on time. So he demanded for 500 silver coins, which is very huge amount, like 5,000 rupees. For 12 boiled eggs, 5,000 rupees. Can you imagine? So it is such a huge amount which the merchant was asking for 12 hard-boiled eggs. So Amin tried to have a compromise with him, telling that, okay, bhai, now what is the market rate? Suppose it is 100 rupees, you take 200 rupees, he said. He said, if it is one silver coin on the market, Amin was ready to pay 2 silver coins for him. But the greedy merchant didn't compromise. He said and demanded for 500 silver coin itself. And Amin said that he is not going to pay that amount. So the merchant said that he will meet Amin in the court. That means he is going to lodge a complaint against Amin. The same he did and Amin was called in the court. The court started, the judge was sitting there. So Amin rushed into the court. After the court has started, after Amin's name was called, then only he rushed into the court, running, as if he ran and came. The judge looked very angrily at him and asked him why he was late. So Amin told the judge very politely that he was planting boiled beans in his garden. That's why he came late. The judge and the entire court laughed at Amin. Children, you know that if we plant beans in the garden, Barbati, if we plant bean seed in the garden, it will sprout. But if you boil the beans and plant the boiled beans in the garden, what will be the condition? Everybody knows that it's a foolish action no plant will sprout from that. Right? So the judge and the entire court, people who were present in the court, laughed at Amin. The judge asked him what foolish thing he had done. And the judge says that the judge told him that he was done something very foolish, and the judge inquired whether he don't know that if he plant boiled beans in the garden, it will not sprout. I mean, just listen to the judge very quietly, and then he asked the judge, Your Honor means the most respectable way of addressing a king or a judge who is in such a high position. So he respectfully addressed the judge and asked, if boiled beans couldn't sprout, then how boiled eggs will hatch into chickens? Children, I hope you understood the gist. Means Amit took only boiled eggs from the merchant. So you know that if we keep boiled eggs for hatching, then no chicken will come out of it. Right? Boiled egg अगर हम डालेंगे तो उससे चूसा नहीं निकलते. अगर boiled eggs हम रखेंगे मुर्गी के पास में तो उससे चूसा नहीं निकलेगा क्योंकि वो boiled वाला है. हमें कच्चा अंडा लेना है ना. तो Amin has taken only boiled eggs, and the merchant didn't tell this in the court. He hid this. He hid the part that it was boiled egg which Amin purchased from him. He went to the court and said, he took 12 eggs from me, this, that. So now the judge understood the twist of the story, and the judge asked Amin to pay exactly the market value of 12 hard-boiled eggs to the merchant, and he scolded the merchant for his greedy nature. This is what is all about this particular lesson. I hope those who didn't attend the online class and those who didn't refer the video which I have given in the WhatsApp group has understood the gist of this particular lesson. So if you remember this whole gist of the lesson, it will help you in your examination to answer properly. And in the last class we discussed and said, I told you that you have to read the entire lesson, and other than that of the question and answers which is given in the notebook or at the back of the textbook, I may ask any question which is based on the particular lesson to check your reading skill. So students, again and again I am telling you, read the entire lesson, read the entire poem. Okay. So today, based on this particular lesson, I will be giving you some work in your WhatsApp group. Do it and send to me. Okay. Now, after this particular lesson is over, what you have to do is, children, once you read the lesson, you take a rough book or your notebook itself and write the name of the main characters as I am writing. Here, Amin, his family, merchant, when he returned, there were villagers, black horse, camels, now judge. These are the characters of this particular story or the lesson. Now you can connect the story or you can recollect the story easily to these characters. Who was Amin and his family, how many were there, villagers, what they were doing, merchant, what is his relation with the Amin and what was their problem in between, why this judge came into this picture, who used the black horse, what was on the camels, what were on the camels. So you can easily relate this lesson, entire lesson. You can have a quick recap if you write the characters like this. Make it a habit to write the main characters as a web. This is called a spider web. You make a web of the main characters of every lesson in your notebook so that you can recall the lesson very fast. Now please say, in the last class itself, I have requested you not to post emojis into the classroom, in the classroom. Seema Varadkar did but deleted. Good. Now please say, I would like to know who has logged in with the name of Nafis Said. Children, it is revision class which is going on, which we are doing very seriously. And during this time, you listen the explanation clearly so that if you have any doubt, you can be clear about it. You can get rid of your doubt. And still, if you have any doubt, you can contact me in my WhatsApp number. During the revision class, take it seriously and don't waste your time by typing and unnecessarily posting the emojis into the classroom. Okay? Now, let's revise the poem He Leaves the Nest. So, he leaves the nest. The word nest says that this particular he is a, what may be the he? Do we live with this? Human beings? And in animals itself, what kind of animals live in nest? Children, if you know the answer, type it. What kind of animals live in a nest? Fast, hurry up. What kind of animals live in nest? Yes. Shreyansh Shikari gave the answer. Obviously, it's birds which is living in nest. So he leaves the nest means it's a bird who is living the nest. From the title, we can understand that it's a bird. And what kind of bird and which bird is mentioned in your poem? It's a cock, who is the central character of this particular poem. It's a cock who leaves the nest. So nest is another character. Non-living things also can be the characters. Okay. And now he climbs up a tree. So tree is another important character in this particular poem. So here is the poem which says, he leaves the nest and flaps his wings and struts as if he is the king of the world. Struts. Very proudly he walks. The cock, if you walk, look at the cock. If you might have seen it in your village, you can see how the cock walks. It walks very proudly, keeping the head straight and chest expanded, broad chest, and keep the tail up and picks up the legs slowly one by one, and it walks. So that is what the poet writes here and points out to with the word struts. He leaves the nest and flaps his wings and stops and struts. 1 minute he stops, looks this side, looks that side. Again moves very proudly, struts. And he doesn't walk fast. How does he walk? He walks bit by bit. 1, 2, 3, slowly. One leg, very authentically, authority, with full authority he walks and looks all the sides as if he is the king. He is observing everybody. And he makes his way to the top of the tree. The most funny thing is that where is he walking like this? He is not walking on the ground. He is walking in this way to the top of the tree. Why, you know? This is a very strange and very proud young cock. He is climbing up a tree, strutting bit by bit to the top of a tree, and he climbs to the top of the tree. He reaches the top of the tree and stands on a high branch and looks around. He can see the entire village. Now from there, what he does is very poetically, it is written here, his net up. He held his net up. Then his tail up. He held his tail up, once flapped and kept his tail up. Then his foot up. One of his foot also he rose up and he is balancing on one leg. What a comic picture you see. Now his comb up. What is the comb? You know, the reddish fleshy part which you can see on the head of a cock, which gives beauty for the cock, is called a comb. You can see it here in this part of the cock, right? And the cock lifts his voice up. What a comic cock is this, right? And he crows. He struts bit by bit to the top of the tree. The cock struts bit by bit to the top of the tree. After reaching there, his neck up, his tail up, his foot up, his comb up, and after all these things, the cock lifts his voice. Means to say. He does the crowing. Coo, 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 coo. So he means that the entire village should hear him. And the full people should look at the cock on the top of the tree. Arey yaar, see this cock. That's what he wants others to do. He wants his voice to be heard by all the people of the village, and he wants all the people to look at him. That's why he climbed up on the tree and crossed from there. Otherwise, he could stand on the ground and he could climb from he could crawl from somewhere. But this particular cock is not like that. He is very proud. He wants others to see him. He wants others to hear him. So that is the feeling of this particular cock is mentioned in this particular poem here. So students, this particular poem tells how we behave in our young age. When we are healthy, when we are young, we do all the show-offs. We want others to look at us. We want others to hear us. We won't listen to others. We won't look at others. Instead, we want others to hear us. We want others to look at us. So, we do everything for others to look at us. What is fashion today? We will wear that. What you have to do today for people to hear you, that you will do. Suppose you have to sing an item number 1, then you will sing that only. No, 80s songs are heard by the people, then you will not sing. You will say definitely the item number 1, what is going on now, because you want others to hear you. Right? The trend is that you have to shout and speak, then you will shout and speak. You will not speak quietly, even though you know that speaking quietly and gently is a good culture and manner. Usually, young people, they avoid that and they run at the back of the trend so that people look at them. Now you know that growing the hair and boys also wear this long ear drops and they look so shabby, you know, means growing the beard. It is a style now. So you can see most of the youngsters growing beard and they used to, many of them they used to wear the studs or droppings from there, one of the ear, and they grow the hair. All these are the trends now. So the children or the young people, they dress up according to the trend so that people look at them like that the pop who wants to do it. So in young age, we do all the things to attract people to look at us and hear us. Instead, we don't look at them and we don't hear them because we are youngsters. And children, this is the main message of this particular lesson, that what we do in our young age should be realized by us. Okay children, I hope you understood the gist of this particular lesson and or this particular poem. And this poem is, we don't know who has written this poem. Anonymous is written, means we don't know the name of the poet who has written this particular poem. Okay. And you have to write the central characters of poems and stories in your notebook so that you can quickly have a recall of the gist of that particular lesson or the poem. And I told you, based on today's revision, you will get the task in your WhatsApp group, refer it and do the task, complete it and send me your work today or by tomorrow in my personal ID. Till we meet in the next class, children, be safe, take care.